Hey everybody!
Hi, everybody.
How goes it?
How you doing?
Another hot day in Las Vegas, and I have in fact
Yes.
changed a couple shades of red since our last review, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I actually have. So those of you who are watching the progress to see just how red the fat guy can get, or if I can get as red as my Red Sox, well, let's see. Let's
That's the
see.
goal,
You
is
know,
to end up
that's
matching the letters on your jersey
exactly.
there. So.
So,
Welcome to another fabulous installment of the TigerSox series,
what the Blue Collar Beer Gourmet,
starring
Chris and Tony. Hey, hey!
your favorites. Come on, what other two beer review guys do you like better than this? Come
Exactly. I
on.
mean, we're the duo. We're the dynamic duo
Come to
of craft
Vegas, we'll
beer.
hang out.
And
I'll buy you your
speaking
first beer.
of dynamic people in the craft beer community, our beer Santa, Mr. Gone V6,
Never heard of
has
him.
hooked us up once again. It's almost becoming like a recurring. I almost feel like
That's never seen one.
pretty much, yeah. You know, it's like TigerSox is basically let's just see what they got from Indiana.
What? Yeah. They're like, don't you guys live in Vegas? Don't you ever buy any? Okay, for the record, I purchased pretty much all these
It's
myself.
true, yeah,
Some of them are from Chris, from
yeah.
his shipments that I kept, but most of these I did not receive in the mail.
And Chris, we are putting together another box for you, my friend.
Yes, in
So,
fact, I gave him right before
can,
we started
yeah.
filming this a can to give you. So
So there's a box coming your way, I promise. Family obligations kind of got in the way over the past few weeks, but hopefully I can be back on track. So today's selection is another Wisconsin favorite. It is the New Glarus Brewing Company,
another week, another new Glarus.
and this is a very, very, very popular beer. It is their Spotted Cow.
Spotted cow.
On the bottle only says that it is a ale, although I didn't read all the little thing over here. But naturally cloudy farmhouse ale
It says
brewed
Farmhouse
with
Ale right away.
okay brewed with flaked barley and Wisconsin malts. Allow the yeast to remain in the bottle to enhance fullness of flavors. So I guess I guess it does say on there. It just doesn't say down below what it is. Once again, New Glarus, you failed to put an ABV on here.
Yeah, there's no ABV.
According
We
to
love it.
Untapped, it's a 4.8 ABV with 18 IBUs. Now, there are three standards for a farmhouse ale. There is table, standard, and super. Table usually comes in between 3.5 and 5.0 ABV. Standard usually comes in between 5.0 and 7.0, and super comes in between 7.0 and 9.5. Considering this comes in at a 4.8, I'm going to assume this is probably a table farmhouse ale. 30 of my friends on Untappd gave this a cumulative score of 3.78. 138,000 of us, that's right,
Damn.
138,000 of us,
So this beer's been around.
gave this a cumulative score of 3.89. When you've got almost, 138,000 people giving you, and you still at a 3.89, that's pretty damn good.
That's very good.
Beer Advocate, 3,659 reviews, first reviewed on the 2nd of February 2002. Cumulative score 3.75, which gives it a very good score on their rankings. And Rate Beer had 1,080 rankings, giving it a 3.1. So Rate Beer is where it has the worst
Nice.
rankings, but high rankings on Beer Advocate and Untappd.
It says here, expect this ale to be fun, fruity, and satisfying. It's like a good
Alrighty.
date.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those Wisconsin girls.
So yeah, I kind of like that they're employee owned too.
They are.
They do put that on the bottle.
And that's cool. And
Employee.
employees, do me a favor, put your damn IABV on your
Yeah,
bottle.
we need the ABV.
It's kind of
really need
important.
that on there. It's important for all
Yeah.
of us.
It really is.
So anyway, I'll open it up.
Cool, man. And
The cap will show because it actually features
Drink Indigenous, I know, was
State
there.
of Wisconsin. There you go. Kind of looks like a thumbprint, but at the same time, it's shaped like
Is it on their
Wisconsin.
cap? Drink Indigenous? Yes, there it is. Drink Indigenous. Yeah. It's
You drink indigenous.
well, and this in particular has as I read, it does have Wisconsin. Was it malt or hops? Oh, yeah. There we go. Wisconsin malts, brewed with flaked barley and Wisconsin malts. So cool. I'm glad that I love to see a brewery sourcing from local. Get
Absolutely.
local hops, local barley, local
keep their local
malts.
economy going.
Yeah. Or at
Also
least
says-
statewide.
Also says here, we allow yeast to remain in the bottle to enhance the fullness of flavors, so it is naturally cloudy. So, pouring time.
Naturally cloudy farmhouse ale.
Flagstaff Brewing Company glass. Acquired this last year when I was near the Grand Canyon, Flagstaff, Arizona. Flagstaff,
Favorite beer from
Arizona.
Flagstaff.
Yes, actually, this
I'm
particular
asking, what
brewery.
was your favorite beer from that?
Oh,
brewery?
it came from Flagstaff Brewing Company. Well, I went to 5 that day.
Well,
So
I'm trying to remember that specific.
try me when I'm not have a stopwatch in my
I
face.
gotcha. I gotcha.
But we went to 5 breweries in like a single outing. So I must have had 15, 20 beers.
Trying to ask
So
you,
I don't really
remember the one from that one brewery when you went to 5?
Somewhere I have that knowledge written down or on my Untapped or something. But just to remember right now, I just can't. Anyway, Flagstaff Brewing Company. If you're in Flagstaff, Arizona, very cool place. Oh, look at that. That is very lemon yellow almost.
It is lemon yellow. We got super carbonation. I thought
Yes.
we had high carbonation before. This is very high carbonation, especially for a
Oh
farmhouse.
yeah, it's like a tornado going on. Look at that. Wow. I got a Love Lady Brewing Company glass. Love Lady is here in Vegas and Henderson, and they are awesome.
They're cool, and they're very philanthropic.
Yes, they are very
You're
much
hard pressed to find a brewery that has more civic or
Yes.
minded
Yeah.
outlook.
They're very generous, kind people, and they make good beer.
And they're family owned.
And they're family owned. Exactly.
Chances are, if you go in there and talk to somebody who's
Their
wearing a
last
shirt,
name.
their last name is going to be Love Lady.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, very lemony, very in color, very. I mean, you can't get much more yellow than this. This is.
Well, I smell hay. Honestly, that's exactly what I smell. I smell when after the first rain of spring, and you get the hay smell from my grandfather's barn. That's exactly what I smell.
The smell of the humidity hanging in the air and the hay being impacted by it. Yeah, that's a good.
But it fails to have the stable smell, so that's what makes it more pleasant. Is it's just the hay without the
you're
red
not
apple
downwind
smell.
from the cow pond.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm also getting a touch of banana, really faint.
Yeah.
Very faint whiff of banana.
A little vanilla. Are you getting?
I could get that. Yeah. With sponge cake, I'm almost like I think I smell sponge cake.
Or like marshmallow, or
right.
Yeah. there is something kind of sweet.
Yeah,
I'm getting like vanilla or sponge cake or marshmallow.
Not frosting or anything.
Something on the sugary end.
Yeah.
On the sugar spectrum.
I swear now I'm getting like banana and sponge cake, and a touch of hay. I think it's kind of morphing right before our nose and eyes. Interesting smell. But yeah, I mean this beer's been around a long time and has pretty high scores. So
cheers.
Let's indulge. Cheers, everybody. And you probably all know we aren't really big Farmhouse fans. So remember that as we about to proceed. To me, the flavor is
subdued, I would say at least.
It's you taste the beer immediately and then it vanishes. There's not really much of
it's not flavor at all.
There's not much lingering going on here. I take a sip. Whatever flavor I'm going to get is within the first actual second, and then it just kind of tapers off. I'm almost saying there's no aftertaste. It's kind of gone.
Yeah, there's no aftertaste, and to me, there's almost no taste.
It's not as pronounced as I thought it was going to be, because when you think of farmhouses, you usually get like a yeast bomb or a fruit bomb of some kind.
Flowers or cardamons smack in the face.
Somewhat floral, somewhat yeast, somewhat hay, somewhat tropical fruits such as banana or like a dark banana, like maybe a Dunkelweizen. But yeah, I don't hate the beer, but it's not as flavorful as I thought it was going to be. It's light and crisp. I mean, if it's a hot day, you could put these away.
It's refreshing, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's not going to bog you down, I'll say that. But, you know, if you're looking to enjoy a farmhouse ale, I think you can probably find one a little more flavorful than this.
Honestly, I think if you're a big farmhouse fan, you may not be that crazy about this beer.
But it has pretty high scores overall.
It does.
So it's odd for us to both sit here and just kind of go about it.
Yeah.
Again, I don't hate it. I think it's a pleasant beer, but the flavor wanes off way too quick for me. You know, I want it to kind of linger and last a little bit longer, and it really doesn't. Sorry.
I don't.
Proper English.
It's just not noteworthy in any way.
Let's cut to the cartoon.
Yeah, I guess so. This may be one of the shortest reviews that we do. Normally, we've got we're closing in on time.
We have 5 minutes left if we need it. We don't have to.
No, as I said, it's maybe one of the shorter ones.
I'll say this: last week's New Glarus beer I thought was much more enjoyable. Their lager.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very solid beer. So I'm definitely not knocking New Glarus because what I've had of theirs in the past I've enjoyed. This beer, probably if I lined up 4 or 5 of their styles, I would safely say this might be my least favorite. If I got to try their stout, I got to try their IPA, I got to try their brown, I got to try their Hefeweizen. I would almost bet that this would be my least favorite because based on the beer we had last week.
Yeah, it just there's not much to it.
You seem bored.
I just keep trying to. I'm trying really hard to come up with a flavor for this, and I just can't. I really, really can't. I mean, it's almost like carbonated water, which means that there's also a very low mouthfeel, very low mouthfeel, and no alcohol burn.
Zero alcohol burn. But again, we're not Farmhouse fans. I think we're kind of at a place where you almost really have to press us to make us say anything nice about them. But we have. I mean, we've reviewed. Yeah. We've had.
Oh, the Taxman double
that's a great example right there.
And triple. And
those were great. Those were flavorful. Those were, the triple I remember was the one that I was a little more surprised with because I was like, I never like them. And this one actually to me, I was like, well, there you go. Now we have an example of one I really enjoyed. I can't really. I'm going to score this probably at just a 3. I don't usually go that low, especially with beers that are from companies that I have had success with. But I feel like I'm doing all the talking. Actually,
I think I'm probably even going to do a 2.75 because of the
there's
ABV.
no ABV on the bottle. Yeah.
So,
we tend to do that with anybody if the ABV is not on there. We can kind of overlook the born on date and the IBUs isn't really that important either. But
given the high scores that this beer has gotten, I would love for anybody to just write, if you think you don't know what we're talking about, write that. If you say, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, write that. I'd love to know because it got such high scores, 138,000 rankings, and you still get a 3.89 on Untappd. That's quite an undertaking.
Or is Wisconsin and the neighboring states? Is there just a low population of farmhouse sales? I mean, are there?
That could be, but I mean, there's just no shortage of breweries in Wisconsin. So
that's true. Yeah, and you would think they would cover that style.
And this is one of their more popular beers. I mean, I've seen Spotted Cow on lots of Tumblr and Instagram photos.
I like it more than you do.
Yeah,
I think that's safe to say. I'm just disappointed with the back end of the beer. Whenever I drink a beer, to me, it goes through like 3 or 4 phases.
Exactly. The initial
I'm only getting a couple of phases with this beer,
not the tongue, and then the final dissipation.
I don't hate it though. If I hated it, I would not be giving it a 3.
I mean, I don't hate it either. It just
3 is to me just average. It's not like when I hate a beer. When we've done a couple of reviews where we've scored like 1.5 or whatever.
Yeah,
we've gone that low.
It has happened.
Well, we'll try again next week. We got what country is it from?
Philippines.
The Philippines. Okay.
And another beer that Chris has sent us.
Another beer that Chris sent us.
And we do appreciate this, Chris. I do appreciate you sending beer, and I have liked other New Glarus beers. So,
gotta try.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, thank you, Chris, and thank you all for watching. And go Red Sox, try not to lose so much Tigers.
There you go.
Just take down the Yankees, please.
That's all that really matters.
Your division is nothing but Red Sox and Yankees.
Yeah,
the other 3 teams are so far behind. It's like, oh my God! Did you see the Baltimore Orioles are like on pace to finish 60 games behind Boston and New York? That's just, out of 162 played. I mean, that's fucking crazy. Okay.
So,
sorry. Drink good beer.
Drink good beer. Don't break the bank doing it. And cheers. Thanks again, Chris.